All right, Felicia Moore here. You want to choose the right services and reduce your moving stress? This is the show for you. We're making moving easy with the 10 essential tips for a smooth transition after selling your home. So we're into another episode of Realty Resources and Reality, a part of Exit Realty West Midtown's commitment to being a resource to the community. We want to share good information with you and make sure that the community knows how to protect themselves when dealing with real estate issues. Today is the same as always. We've got great information for you, but I'd like for you to do something for us, and that is like, share, and subscribe. So hit that thumbs up button, like us so other people know that you like us too. Share this information with someone you may know who can use it, or you may tell them this is a great show. Please subscribe. When you hit that subscribe, hit all notification buttons so you won't miss an episode. And if you would like, we like to take our show on the road. We like to come to small groups. Maybe it's a few of you and your friends, large groups, your church, your neighborhood organization, because we have a lot of great information here at Exit to share with you on how you can protect your most valuable asset, your property. And if you just have a question that you want to ask, call me. I won't charge you for asking, and you won't have to pay for asking either. I won't charge you for the answer. You won't have to pay for asking. That's what we do here at Exit. We're a resource. We want to be here for you in the community. So please support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Reach out to me at Ask Felicia at exitwestmidtown.com, or you can text me at Ask Felicia to 85377. At the end of the show, we will show you every avenue that you can to reach us. Please reach out. We're here for you, and we are here to serve you. So let's get into the topic that we have at hand, and that is choosing the right services and reducing moving stress. This is part 2 of our series on moving made easy. So please catch up on part 1 as well. Our number 6 tip is understanding what services are worth and whether it's worth it or not. Understanding whether the service that they are providing is worth it or not. You can save yourself a lot of money. The more you do, the more you provide, the less it's going to cost you, because whatever that moving company is going to do for you is going to have a charge and an upcharge on it. So let's talk about it. The first and foremost is packing services. You, if you can afford it, if you think you have the budget for it, then have them just come in, pack up everything, and you can sit back and twiddle your thumbs. However, if you choose to pack yourself, you can buy your own packing materials. That will save you because you're buying it directly. There are a lot of wholesalers and places that you can directly buy from where you can save yourself money on boxing and bubble wrap and all of the tape and those things that you might need to use. So if you do it yourself, you save money. The more you do yourself, even if you don't do everything, you can have a party, invite all the friends you know, tell them, hey, come help me pack, save yourself a ton of money. Insurance. They won't have to be insured for packing your things. So they might charge you a little bit more if you put them in charge of packing, because what if somebody drops that vase that was in your mama's family for 100 years? They're going to be on the hook for it. Their insurance is going to be on the hook for it. But if you drop it, you're just going to be crying. So think about those things. Packing is one of those services that you might want to look at. Storage can be helpful. Sometimes it may be helpful for you to have storage. You might want to look at storing things on your own, whether it's a pod, whether it's a storage facility or something. If there's a timing issue with them moving the items out of your house and you have to be out of the house, or whatever the circumstance may be, anything you can do yourself will save you, because there will be an upcharge. And beware of overpriced add-ons. There may be some overpriced add-ons. There may be where they want to put corner guards up, or baseboard guards up. So if they're coming in and out of a doorway with a couch or whatever, they don't want to nick it or knack it or that kind of thing. Those things can be very expensive. You just need to make sure that you're paying for what you think you really need, and not just things because they sound good or they make them sound good for you. It may just be get a little speck of paint and clear that up, versus having to go through all of that. And that, of course, also depends on what you have to move, how precious those items are, or how much they can possibly damage the property as you're moving out. Number 7, review the moving contract carefully. That means read it. Don't let someone sit there, and I tell people this for real estate contract. Don't let someone sit there and tell you, oh, this is standard. We do this, we do that. They give you the highlights. But the devil, as they say, he relies and lives in the details. And the details are not what they're going to get. That this is how it is, but if something else happens, you're not going to get all that. So you're going to need to take time to read that contract, even if you have to ask them, tell me the contract that you're going to want me to sign so that I can read it in advance before we get together and we finalize this contract. Ensure that all the services, the fees, and timelines are clearly outlined before signing. Don't sign. I had somebody call me and say, hey, I'm moving. Felicia, they put the wrong address in the contract, and they telling me when I get there, they'll fix it. I said, do not sign it. Because when you sign that contract with the wrong address, even though they say you can initial and do that first before you sign it, because you are signing for them to move to that address. So make sure the contract is clear, concise, detailed, and that everything that you talk about is written. That's what matters. Pack an essentials box. You're going to want to pack a box that has everything that you're going to need, essentials. That means the things that you know that you are going to put your hands on, touch, or need in the next 48 hours, 48 to 72 hours, because you're not going to want to unpack every box that you have packed up for the house to find your toothbrush, or to find the linen to the beds, because you're going to need to sleep on sheets. You have to think in advance and pack in advance. And I had a show about some good tips on how to pack, because you don't want to do it by room so that you know where you can get to those items. We're going to come back with more about number 8, and we're going to get to number 9 and number 10. Those are the tips, essential tips for a smooth transition after selling your home. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back to number 8, and that's packing that essentials box. That's where you not only want to keep your toothbrush or whatever, you might just want to put that in a suitcase so that you have all of the toiletries that you're going to need as well as the clothes you're going to wear. But you want to also make sure in that essentials box that you have your important documents, your medications, any valuables that you have that you don't want to leave for someone else to move when they're not in your eyesight, and you want those daily necessities separate for easy access. And I want to go back to the valuables. If you had heirloom jewelry or that sentimental item from your family, your pictures, those are the kinds of things you're going to want to put in an essentials box, and maybe things that you want to carry with you versus being thrown on the truck. Because if something happens, and things happen, and the truck gets in an accident and it rolls over and crushes and messes up some of your things, those things that you would not want to lose no matter what, maybe things, if they're, compact enough that you want to put in your car and keep with you. Number 9, confirm details with the movers before moving day. Might want to make sure a week in advance everything's good with the schedule, double checking their arrival time, making sure we have the right truck, confirming that the payment has been made. We don't want to avoid any last minute surprises, everything. And then the night before, calling them. And if they're a good moving company, you know what? They will be calling you to do the same thing as well. But you don't want any hiccups. And I always tell people in your contract, you may want to consider not only having a schedule for that moving day, but you also may want to consider a couple of rain days, because you never know. That perfect Saturday or whatever, or Sunday that you wanted to move, there could be a tornado coming through, or it could be raining or snowing or whatever's going on with the weather that's not going to make it a less stressful move. You might want to just say, I'm going to move on this day, but in the event of torrential rain, we're going to use the next day or whatever. So if you pick the Friday or you pick the Saturday, you might still have a Sunday or Monday to move. Just think about that. Just something to consider. And so after you double checked all that, we are now at number 10, and that is preparing for the moving day and settling in very smoothly. So you need to have a plan. If you have children, you have pets, you need to make sure that perhaps they're out of the way when you're actually moving in. They may be a lot to keep up with running around with them. So you might want to ask a friend to hold your pet, or you might want to ask a friend to babysit your child, or get someone to do and babysit them both, because you want to be free to make sure that you are watching what's going on very diligently with the moving people, that nothing's coming up missing, that they're not doing anything that potentially damaging it. You want to be available and on hand to show them where those boxes that you have adequately marked for which room and where that furniture needs to go. So kids and pets can be a bit distracting. You may want to have other plans for them that day. You, of course, have already planned, correct, for utilities and all of those things to be turned on and to be operable before you get there. And you want to do a final walkthrough from leave before they leave to make sure that nothing was damaged, nothing's missing. I always tell people it's just like anything else. You want to take pictures of all of your items before you move, and you want to take them after you move, just to make sure that you have what you are supposed to have. Just an idea, because if that's that heirloom something and it breaks, if you have a picture of it before and it breaks, you can maybe value it later if it's broken and they have to replace it, or you can show, look, it was fine before you put it in the truck and now it's not. So those are the top 10 things that we do to make moving easy. So I'm going to go through them real quick. Please check up part 1, which dealt with preparing for the move and avoiding scams. That's creating a moving plan and timeline. Number 2, decluttering and downsizing before you pack. Researching and choosing a reputable moving company. Take time to do that. Watching out and avoiding moving scams. Go Google it. There's plenty of scams out there. Know what they are so you can avoid them. And here in this show, part 2, number 6, in the part 2, we're choosing the right services and reducing the moving stress. And we're doing that by number 6, understanding what services are worth it or not. Number 7, reviewing the moving contract with a fine-tooth comb, and that means reading it and understanding it. Number 8, we're packing an essentials box and a valuables box, so we are going to keep those things in our possession. Number 9, we're confirming the details with the movers before the moving day. And I always say it might be good to set a rain day in case something happens on that day you wanted to move. And then number 10, we are preparing for moving day, and we are settling in smoothly. Might want to get those kids and pets somewhere, something else to do while the moving's going on. I hope these tips have helped you. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Here is our contact information. We will look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you at the next show.